Good morning, Keller Williams. Welcome to Tuesday, June the 16th, and all accounts says is going to be a blistering day out there today. So just give you the COVID-19 update. The public health has announced 3 new cases of COVID-19 in the province, bringing the total number of active cases to 29. Dr. Jennifer Russell, New Brunswick's Chief Medical Officer of Health, said one case is a person in their 20s in the Campbellton regions. There are 2 other cases in Moncton area involving a person in their 20s and another person in their 30s who came from outside of Canada to work in New Brunswick. Our public health teams are working hard to limit the spread of COVID-19 virus throughout our province, she said during Monday's news briefings. In regards to an update, as you can see, Zone 5 is still very much orange zone. We've had 3 new active cases as of yesterday, 29 active cases in total, 4 in the hospital, 1 in ICU, and 2 fatalities to COVID-19. In regards to our testing, as you can see, our testing's up from last Thursday when we're on. Up to 4.9% of the populations have been tested for a total of 37,509 people. Just a quick question on, I was somewhere on the weekend and I was told by somebody within the emergency measures that they are predicting another wave of COVID in sometime September, October, which they're predicting 4 times greater than what we just went through. So it is very, 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 very serious that we maintain what we've been doing in regards to masks, in regards to gloves, in regards to hand sanitizer, in regards to washing your hands, and making sure that we follow the protocol and the operational plan set out by Keller Williams Capital Realty in regards to a tracking system of the forms that you have been provided with. We're far from over in this thing, and it's because of what you're doing and what we're doing collectively and what all New Brunswickers are doing is helping us combat this virus to the ground. So be very, very, very vigilant that this is far from over and it's not to be taken lightly in regards to what may come in the very near future. In regards to agent testimonials, this week we had a leadership call, and we've talked about agent testimonials, and we talked about Keller Williams being able to tell their story in a very pronounced way, and the best way to do that is to have people go on there and have a bit of a testimonial on why Keller Williams. So we're looking for agents who are interested in creating professional testimonial videos of why they love Keller Williams. This initiative will provide a powerful marketing tool to increase our company's growth, market share, and profit share in New Brunswick. It will also provide the agent with a marketing video that can increase their brand awareness and grow their downline. So what our intent is here is that, yes, you're going to talk about Keller Williams for probably a 35 or 40-second clip, and then Brad is going to do an interview in your own personal brand of whatever you'd like it to be. So we're going to try to capture 2 things at once, one for Keller Williams and one for your own personal business. So Carrie, if you're interested in the videos, please reach out to Carrie so we can set this up. But we're looking at doing video shoots somewhere around on or before July the 10th. So without any further ado, and she doesn't need any introduction, I'm going to turn this over to Carrie. So she's going to do the sales portion of this meeting, and then I'll come back in and wrap things up. So Carrie, take over. You're on.
Okay, awesome. And Amanda, can you also enable me to be able to screen share? No, it's saying host disabled, but that's okay. I'm good without it. So good morning, everybody. Thanks for asking me, or thanks for allowing me to be part of your meeting this morning. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to see a bunch of people, but it looks like I can't. Anyways, so just two things I want to cover this morning. One is, I'm sure you're hearing a lot of, oh, here we go. Hold on.
Oh my God, it's fucking close me out of this. Where?
Okay, I don't know what I just did, but I just lost your screen. Can you guys see, what are you seeing on your screen right now? Okay, perfect. So, and are you seeing it moving now? Okay, perfect. So I'm sure you guys are hearing a lot about what's happening, or what the announcement was a couple weeks ago from CMHC, and it was pretty shocking, actually, and pretty surprising. It took us all by surprise. CMHC came out and said that their outlook for the future was not very rosy. They were foreseeing a 9 to 18% decrease in houses over the next 12 months due to COVID-19. Certainly not what we're seeing in this market. And, Premier is a national broker, and we're not seeing that in any market. I think maybe areas of Alberta would potentially have some impact, or maybe even in Newfoundland, but certainly not a national trend. So they came out and they said, okay, based on this, there's a couple things that they're going to change. So the first thing that they announced was that they were going to limit the debt service ratios from 39 to 44 to 35 to 42. So your ratios that you have to qualify for are based on what, compared to your income per month, what overall expenses it is to service the mortgage, which is your GDS, and then it's that plus all of your other monthly commitments, which is your TDS. So lowering it from 3944 to 3542 had a significant difference. The other thing, as they said, is that moving forward, the minimum score for anyone to qualify for a mortgage would be 680, whereas before it was 600. And then lastly, non-traditional sources of down payment. So borrowing for a mortgage, so a flex down program, would no longer be allowed. The day they made the announcement, the other two insurers, that Genworth and Canada Guarantee, stayed very silent. So as brokers, we were all crossing our fingers and hoping that they would come back the following week with an announcement that said that they were not hopping on the bandwagon of CMHC. Now, just to put it in perspective, CMHC is a government-owned insurer. The other two, Genworth and Canada Guarantee, are independent. Well, the good news is the two lenders decided not to hop on board, which is significant because the impact of this would have been a 10% reduction for the average person in terms of what their approval limits would have been. So if someone was pre-approved for $300,000, moving forward with CMHC, they would have only been able to finance up to $270,000. Summary between the three of them. So Genworth, now minimum credit score required is 600. CMHC is at 680. Canada Guarantee has no minimum credit score, but they look at each individual application on an individual basis. You can see that the limit on what the max limit based on $100,000 worth of income with CMHC is significantly lower than what it is now with the other two lenders. The impact to the CMHC change with Genworth is none, and the impact to Canada Guarantee is none. So overall, a good news story. And I think what's important with this is that the media picked up on the fact that CMHC made these changes, and they seem to focus a lot more on the bad news than they do the good news. The good news is it's business as usual. We're just not going to send deals to CMHC, right? If it's something that can be done at the other two insurers, they're going to go there. So I don't think we're going to see any kind of impact. The only impact I see would be on the flex down program, where now CMHC isn't doing it, and there's talk about Genworth potentially picking up that program moving forward. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about is a really cool product that has just become available since COVID-19 started. And this is a cashback product. And I used to work at CIBC, so I know a cashback product, but this is different. With the banks, when you're doing cashback, the cashback is always funded after the closing date. So for anything other than just, giving the client some money to do what they want with it. This particular cashback product is designed to help clients get into houses sooner. So it's up to 3% cashback. And this money can be used to either pay down debt in the application. So if I have a client that has some debt that wants to get a $180,000 house, but they can only get approved for 150 or 160, potentially paying down their debt using the cashback on this would be able to get them in that property. It can also be used for closing costs. So if you have a client that's in the process of saving but isn't completely there, they have their down payment, but they don't necessarily have their closing costs yet, the lender will allow them to use this for their closing costs as well. It can also be used for whatever you want. It doesn't have to be used for the mortgage. It can be used to buy a hot tub, right? It can be used for travel. It can be used for whatever it is that you want. And what's different about this and the other cashback products is that the clawback is different. So when I worked at CIBC, if I did cashback for a client and in year 4, they decided they were going to sell their house and break their mortgage, they had to pay back 100% of the cashback, even though they had actually paid extra money to have that during the term. One day before the mortgage closes with CIBC, you have to pay the entire cashback back because you're breaking your term. With this product, it's prorated. So it's 20% prorated per year. So on a 5-year term, if in year 4 you decide that you want to sell your house, you're only paying back 20% of the cash back. And then lastly, I'm just going to show you the math on this in case your clients are asking. And just to throw this in there as well, interest rates are changing all the time. I did this slide yesterday morning, and it's already outdated because interest rates have gone down with this lender. So yesterday, on a 5-year fixed, this particular lender offered a 2.49% interest rate. Today, it's at 2.34%. But I already did the slide, so we'll work with these numbers. But yeah, so they are even better than this. So you can see that based on the cashback amount of 1%, the interest rate would go up 20 basis points. From the 2.49 goes up to 2.69. At 2% would go to 2.89, which is 40 basis points above the 2.49. At 3%, it would go to 60 basis points above the 2.49 at 3.09. So the cashback amount that you're getting doesn't get added into the principal. It gets paid back via the interest rate that you're paying. So the example I'm using here is a $400,000 mortgage. And 3% of that, because I'll use the 3% for the example, is $12,000. So on the day of the closing, the client can use to pay off bills, for closing costs, to buy a hot tub, whatever they want, the $12,000. They're still only borrowing the $400,000. The percentage of interest impacts 2 variables. The first variable that it affects is your monthly payment, because obviously if you're paying a higher rate of interest, your monthly payment is going to be a little bit higher. So without cashback, your monthly payment would have been $1,789.87. With cashback, it's now $1,911.50, which means you're paying $121 more a month for 60 months in 5 years. So 60 times the 121 is $7,297.80. The other variable that is affected when you do this is the balance at the end of the 5 years. So at the end of the 5 years, the balance without the cash back would be $338,483.80. The balance with the cash back would be $342,487.68, which means overall you have another difference. So I would say it's a cost of $4,003.88. If you take what is costing you extra for $12,000 for the $12,000, you're netting it ahead 32 cents. So you're actually getting $698.32 more than what those 2 costs are costing you, comparing to the $12,000 that you're getting in cash back. So you can see how this can get really interesting for clients. I think it's definitely going to be able to get them into homes a little bit quicker. Or if you have clients that are, first-time home buyers, and a lot of clients will get into the house and then they go to Leon's and they charge $10,000 worth of furniture, but they're paying really high interest rates. This will allow them to pull everything in one payment. And as you can see, the extra cost is actually less than what they're getting in terms of money. So it's a really good option for them. By the lender to really help homeowners. And there's other programs that are out there too. There was a program announced a couple of weeks ago where this particular lender is paying the interest for their clients on new mortgages for the first 6 months. So it's a very, very cool time to be a broker right now. There's so many, and offers are changing all the time. There's something out there for everybody. So the other thing, and I'm just going to throw this out there as well, is you're going to see an announcement coming out in the next week or so. Premier Mortgage is now offering air miles. So for any client that we do mortgages for, we will be paying air miles. So we become the national air mile provider for mortgages in Canada. So that's pretty exciting too. And that's it. And if anybody has any questions,
Get them to say, oh, right. So we won't be able to ask you questions, David, just because of the way that we're setting this up. So can you share your email address so that if anybody does have questions, they can send you an email, or your phone number, maybe both?
Absolutely. So my email address is david.dupuy@premier.ca. I can actually just type it right in here, can't I? If I type it into the chat, can they see it? No?
No.
So david.dupuy@premier.ca. And my phone number is 506-962-6044.
Perfect. Thank you, David.
All right, guys. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks for your time today.
All right. Bye-bye.
So here we go. Okay, so now we get to our part.
I know.
And I'm letting Dylan join me just because he loves to be in front of the camera so much.
I hate it. I'm embarrassed.
You are. Okay, so welcome to our sales meeting. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so I'm going to look at my notes because I want to make sure that I say these things as I planned on saying them. So despite the recent and the weighty challenges that your businesses have faced, you have accomplished some great things, and we're excited. We're excited to talk about them, right? So we're going to celebrate your successes here. And something I thought of when I was prepping is I'm going to say a bunch of names, and why don't you send a text or an email, consider sending a text, an email, or picking up the phone and congratulating the people that I'm going to be mentioning, because their hard work is worth celebrating and more. And you're going to get your turn too, I'm sure. And I'm sure that they'll return the favor by celebrating you. So just a thought there. So I'm not going to dig deep on the numbers. If you want to have any further information, as you know, we're an open books company. You can reach out and we'd be happy. In fact, Austin loves talking numbers deeply. So reach out to Austin and he will be more than happy to go through every line. For me, I just want to mention, this is the first time in my history with Keller Williams Capital Realty, and Austin could speak to this after I'm done, if I'm offside here, that we're seeing negatives in a lot of our categories. And why is that, Dylan?
Well, it's simply because what shows up today in terms of results happened 60 to 90 days ago.
Right. So it's the result of what happened then, and we all know what happened to us. And the great news is, while I'm reading you some of these numbers, I want you to know that Amanda's just told us to have a larger June this year than we did last year. And last year was the June of Junes. So, right, it's the June of Junes. This is true. Why are you laughing? It's real. So okay, so here we go. So closed units as a company, we're up 12.6%. Closed volume, we're up 6.2%. Listings taken, we're down 21%. Listings taken volume, we're down 8.5%. Listings sold, we're up 7.7%. Listings sold volume, we're up just under 1%. Contracts written, we're down 3.4%. And contracts written volume, we're up 4.1%. Closed GCI, we're up 8.8%. And profit share, we're down 54%. And the great news about that is that's going to turn around here. Keller Williams International took care of us, took care of market centers during this crisis, and they allowed us for the first time ever to prepay some of our expenses to make sure that we weren't going to run into a hard time. And we're really proud to say that we didn't lay off any staff, despite the fact that a lot of our competitors and just a lot of people generally got laid off at this time. So we actually paid out in May. Oh, Dylan, why don't you find the number for me? Profit share. Thank you so much. And I want to talk to you quickly. So you noticed that I mentioned that we were up in some categories just under 10%. Now, while it was a growth to get super excited about, and I'll tell you why. Gary has taught us that if we're not growing at a rate of 10%, it's not creating a sustainable growth model. So when we do what's called our pink and greens, we want anything under 10% growth to be marked in a pink because we want to draw our attention to it because it's an opportunity for growth, and we reward ourselves with green for anything over the 10%. So the areas on here that were over 10% are the close appointments, and the appointments are the ones that Dylan and I go on. So thank you, Dylan. Profit share. Here we go. So $34,798 profit shared for the month of May. And something that I really want to commend Austin and Scott for is that they took advantage of being able to prepay, and yet they put the brakes on that, and they strong business here, thanks to all of you and to Amanda, who helps keep us all in line. And so they decided not to prepay any more expenses and to profit share with you. So, yeah, to the tune of almost 35,000. So Austin and Scott, thank you so much for sharing your profit with us. We're very grateful. So now we're going to move on to, okay, Dylan, can you screen share for me?
Of course.
Oh, this is, yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, so we want to do the all boards lower.
Do you have it?
Just a second. There's a second down here, right there.
There we go. Nope.
Yeah, that's it. You can scroll to the bottom. Yeah, scroll to the last slide for me, all the way down. And then we'll put it on, just press this button here and we'll put it on page view. Keep going. All right, there we go. Okay, I hope you guys can see this. Oh, now you can see it. Okay, so I want to celebrate just one win from each office, and then we'll talk about what's going on as a company in the province. So first one, Fredericton Woodstock, I want to focus on listings taken. You're outperforming the board by 13%. So congratulations. That's fantastic. Moncton, you're outperforming the board by 25% in listings taken. The Northern Board, category I want to focus on there is you're outperforming the board by 22% in closed units. Congratulations. St. John, you're outperforming the board by 9% in listings taken. Now, Grand Falls. So here's the thing. We have Vicky LaForge, and we have Louise in Grand Falls, and just look at the numbers. I can't even read numbers that big, Dylan. Can you? Yeah. Congratulations, girls. You're absolutely killing it up there, and we're so proud of you. And then can we keep going to the bottom? Okay, so this is where I wanted to focus is you can see, and I'm pointing at the screen, which isn't helping you, Keller Williams Capital Realty, and then we see New Brunswick. So we're combining all of our office in the left-hand column, and we're combining all of the board's numbers in the right-hand column. And by we, I mean Amanda. Amanda, thank you so much for giving us these comprehensive reports. It makes it possible for us to really know our numbers, and like my t-shirt says, think like a CEO. If we don't know our numbers, all of you are the CEO of your own company, and we need to know our numbers. And these are great numbers to remember when you're going on listing appointments, what we're about to talk about here, because as a company, you're a part of this growth. You're a part of something special that is consistently outperforming the board. So units, you're outperforming the board by 5%. And listings taken, you're outperforming the board by 21%, which is, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. So, so congratulations there. We see a little dip where the board is outperforming us in volume. And we're really excited to go over the numbers next month, because we know that any dips that we're seeing, any pinks that we're seeing on our trend report, those are going to be turned around. We're confident in that because we know you got to work, and the results are starting to show up already. And I'm sure you're feeling it in your business too. Okay. Next, I got to be aware of the time here. Can we go to, oh, actually, we don't need to screen share just yet. Growth. So I want to talk about the agent in each office that has grown the most. So it's based on this period this year versus the same period last year. So, well, Dylan.
Yeah, I would love to.
Dylan,
okay.
Yes.
So Fredericton had the rough. Your volume grew by 427.5%.
What?
Units up 300%. Moncton, Brian Kirsten, our beautiful Brian, volume up 873.1%, units up 100%. Bathurst, Donna, your volume is up 613.4%, units up 375%. Miramichi, Lisa, I don't even know how you can do it, Lisa. Volume is up 24.6%, units up 48.5. How are you selling more houses?
Okay, just a second. Just one quick second. Dylan, how many houses did Lisa sell last year?
Last year it was 141. 141.
And she's grown.
And she's growing by 48.5% in units.
Yeah.
St. John, Helena, your volume has grown 252.4%. And units up 142.9%. Ridiculous. Grand Falls, Vicky, I don't even know how. This is why we have a 10,000% difference. Vicky's volume is up 80.8%. Units up 119. Sleep. Woodstock, Nancy, your volume is up 45.5%. I don't understand how this is possible.
It's exciting.
This is crazy.
Congratulations. Growth is so exciting. And, you know, Gary talks about an MREA that the best realtors are competitive. And sometimes that means they're competitive against other realtors, and sometimes that means they're competitive against themselves. And when we look at growth, I mean, that's competing against ourselves. So the new you is winning, guys. Congratulations. Dylan, thank you for that. Great job. Good job on the energy, bringing the energy. Yes.
Well, I mean, it's hard to not get excited about that.
I agree. Well, I have some things to get excited about too. Okay, just a second. So we have a couple of agents who are appearing in the top 10 of their boards. And I want to give them a special shout out because, I mean, the boards consist of hundreds of members, right? So this is extraordinary, and all of your results are absolutely extraordinary. And let's talk about Fredericton. So on the Fredericton board, we actually have two groups that are appearing in the top 10, and that's the Drisdale team. So Austin, we have Jonathan, we have Trevor, we have Maria, congratulations. And we have Jack Carr's team. So we have Jack and we have Tyler and we have Justin. We are so proud of you, and keep up the great work. And we're going to talk about the St. John board. Martha Lister takes permanent residence on that list. Entire province and has been almost since the very beginning of her career. Martha, congratulations. We are so proud of you. And no surprise, Vicky LaForge is actually the top member on the Northern board. So number one, Vicky, I'm going to have to interview you because, right? We have to interview this girl and find out what she's doing, what she's eating and drinking, and how she's functioning on no sleep, because that's probably the case. Okay, congratulations to you guys. So now we're going to do top 5 per office. This is going to be a combination of individual agents and teams, because I want you to see where individual agents are ranking against teams. And I want you to know that if you are an individual agent, I don't want you to feel like you can't compete with a team, because you certainly can. It all depends on your goals and your drive. And I'm going to talk a little bit. We're going to close the meeting with a little chat on goals. So top agents in each office. So for our smaller offices, I'm just going to mention the top agent. So Derek Jacques in Bathurst, and we know that he's with Tracy and with Jack. So congratulations to you. In the Miramichi, we have Lisa Hare and Vicky LaForge in Grand Falls, Carla Hunter Kingston in our Woodstock office. Now we'll talk about Fredericton. So Jack Carr, and Jack, this goes for Jack, this is Tyler, this is Justin, Austin, this is Jonathan, Trevor, Maria, and then Matthew Hunter, Sandy Levine, and Kathy and David Calhoun. So Fredericton, congratulations. And remember what I said at the beginning, as a recommendation, pick up your phone. I know they're in your hands. I know you're not exclusively just watching us right now. I mean, they should be, right? Just pick up your phone, send them a message or a text. I know it would probably mean the world to them to know that they have your encouragement and your support. And let's move on to Moncton. We have Nick Dunfield. We have Dwayne Muir, Brent Ryan, who would be with Erica as well. So congratulations to you both. And we have Devin Babineau and the One Stop Home Pros. Who's on Devin's team?
We have Adele, we have Becky, and Mo.
Mo, there you go. Congratulations, guys. And Claude Williams and his daughter, Vicky, Vicky's new to real estate, and she's doing an incredible job. Absolutely phenomenal. In fact, Claude had a conversation with me, I think a week or two ago, and he told me that he recently cut his grass for the first time, I think, since he's gotten into real estate. So Claude, I hope I remember that right. Yeah, so congratulations, and I'm happy that that you're gaining a little bit more time. Now let's talk about St. John. We have Martha we know works with Hillary. We have Gary Vincent, we know works with Kathleen. We have Al McAlpine, Julia Hurst, and Terry Roberts and Craig Roberts. So congratulations to all of you. I'm so paranoid I'm forgetting somebody. I am actually. I want to talk about her. Did I forget somebody else? That's who I forgot? Okay, good. Okay, so I'm saving this girl for the end because she's on the St. John board and she's on the Moncton board. Her name was already mentioned, Helena McDermott. I hope you're listening right now. And if she's not, guys, all the more reason to send her a message. You are a top agent in each of the Moncton and the St. John offices. Like, it's incredible. Congratulations. We are so proud of you. And I think that's it for top 5. We're just breezing through. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, screen share time. Oh, okay, so I want to go to, I'll tell you what I want to go to. Yeah. No, not this. You got to go to my main screen. Yeah. Okay, this one. Okay, here we go. This is celebrating everybody. Okay, thank you, Amanda, for the picture. So I'd like you to look at our growth trajectory as an office 2016. I want to do this, but it won't work. Oh, yes, it will. Oh, yeah. So units sold, we were bronze in 2016. In 2017, we were silver in total commissions earned, double gold in units sold, silver in profit share, 2018. And you notice the progression in size and there we go. 2018, total commissions earned, double gold, units sold, platinum, profit share, silver. Now let's look at last year, guys. Total commissions earned, platinum, units sold, triple platinum, profit share, platinum. This is a direct representation of all of your efforts. So I've said a lot of names today, and I didn't say everyone's names, and every one of you have contributed to this. So thank you so much for your hard work. We know you get up every day and you go to work and you're working towards your goals. And by doing that, you're help making all of our goals a reality too. So congratulations. These are found in Fredericton. And again, thank you so much, Amanda, for the pictures. Screen share the vital signs, please. Okay, we're almost done, guys. We're almost done. Okay, so I wanted to share this with you. This is really exciting, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. It's a report that Keller Williams International can look at and quickly determine where we rank in the world. Now, Austin, my memory fails me sometimes, and so if I say any of these numbers wrong, please correct me at the end. Last month, I believe we were, do you remember? Oh, I want to say we were third. Yep, I'm going to go with third. We were third in the world in all these metrics. So all these metrics combined, you look at them, our agent count, our capper amount, our profit share, profit, agents that took listings within that month, etc. And third in the world, guys. So the image we just shared with you with that award, this is even more meaningful because it's keeping track of what we're doing every month. And we're going to use this going forward as a tool because this is a newly created document where we're going to have courses as leadership. We're going to have courses and suggested strategy and tactic implementation ideas in order to improve any areas that there's opportunities for growth in. So, and I believe, and again, Austin, please correct me. I believe we slipped to 4th for last month. So I believe the month before we were in 3rd. This month we're in 4th, and we're very aware of some of the categories that we can change, and we've already developed a plan to change them. So this is something to be really proud of. Dylan, do you know how many market centers there are in the world?
It's over 8.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys are competing in little New Brunswick. I mean, you guys are competing against huge market centers. Gary Keller's Market Center. Yeah, you're competing against that little number. And you guys are doing an incredible job. And I wanted to celebrate all of you. Again, like the previous slide, this is a direct result of what you are doing in your business, your commitment to your goals. So congratulations. Okay, can we stop it? Stop the screen share. Okay, guys, it's story time. So I want to talk to you about something, and I'm going to say quickly, but it's almost a page of notes, and I'm going to read fast, right? I'm going to read fast, and stop me if I'm talking too fast, okay? So, and so this goes back to what we talked about at the very beginning. I mentioned about goals, thinking like a CEO, being in touch with your numbers, and so this is especially important as we hit the halfway mark of the year. So because of COVID, some of you, may look at your goals and you may not be where you want to be in relation to them. Now I'm going to look at my notes because I want to say this as I wrote it. So please stay with me. The reality is that for most of us, we spend our time and we don't invest it. Now we invest our money to make a return. I'm sure you would all agree with that. Well, we need to shift from spending our time to investing it and making sure that we're getting the proper return on investment for that time. Now, that doesn't mean we have to set any more goals than we already have. It doesn't even mean that we have to change the goals that we do have despite what's just happened. The answer to shifting versus spend our time lifestyle is that we have to get into a better relationship with our goals. Now let's think of it this way. You've at some point, all of you, I'm sure, have been in a new romantic relationship, right? You started thinking about that person all the time. It's all you could think about. You started communicating with them more regularly. You went on more and more dates. You were in love, and what a feeling. Now, as things went well and you were on track, you raised the goal. You thought even bigger. You probably moved in together. You might have gotten married, had children. And like with all relationships where there was conflict and you realized that you weren't where you wanted to be, did you change your behavior? Did you try and figure out what you could do to get back where you wanted to be? You did, and here's why. We fundamentally understand how to have a relationship with another person, but we were never taught how to have a relationship with our goals. Now imagine this, if you had the strongest possible relationship with your goals, if you were in love with them, and if you and anyone on your team, if you have a team, woke up for work with them with absolute clarity, every one of you with absolute clarity and focus on your one thing for the day, and you got that one thing done, what would be possible? Think about that. What would be possible? Now, how can you fall in love with your goals? And how can you have the strongest relationship possible with them? One way to get started is to open the email that Dylan's going to send after this meeting. It's going to have a link to the free PDF of the one thing. Now, if you've read the one thing, I recommend you read it again. It takes reading a book. Do you remember how many times? I say this all the time. Do you remember? Oh, you do listen. 13 times to gain mastery. So, and I'm going to recommend some chapters within the email that Dylan says. And while it's great to read the whole thing and reread the whole thing over, there's a couple of chapters specifically in line with getting in a great relationship with your goals. So I'm going to highlight those to you. And please check out, if you haven't already, the One Thing podcast. There are hundreds of episodes. And remember, you can listen to these. I know you do a lot of driving as agents. You can listen to these as you drive, as you do, things around the house, as you fall asleep at night. Now, the book and the podcast are centered entirely on how to get you more focused on the right activities for professional and personal success. It's not just a business thing, it's the whole person. And therefore, it will shift you from spending your time to investing it. It's my recommendation that you make this education a priority and incorporate the best practices found within it, which will help you create new habits and help you make your relationship with your goals unbreakable. And I really believe that if you do this, it may just be the catalyst to the highest possible ROTI, and that's return on time investment. So that's all for me. Do you have anything to say?
I just keep going.
Keep going. Don't stop.
Don't stop.
No.
It's getting busy up there. Find listens because they gonna sell.
They're good. So you just heard newsflash. If you get a listing, it's going to sell.
That's it.
It's going to happen if you price it right. Thanks so much for joining us. I look forward to seeing you next month and celebrating some old and some new faces. And please remember to pick up your phone and celebrate your colleagues. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day. Make it a great day.
Thanks, Dylan and Carrie. Very informative information, and it's a testament to the partners that we have at Keller Williams. Whether your names were called today or not, you're all valuable partners to the overall well-being of this company. If there's any questions or concerns that you have, please reach out to Scott, myself. The market is very, very hot here in the province of New Brunswick. I know that there's multiple offers on everything that's coming your way. This is, as I think Martha Lister said it about a month and a half ago, the spring market is just delayed a little bit. This is the spring market, and if you're out there and about, there's lots of business to be had. So go get your unfair share. And again, congratulations and thank you for being part of Keller Williams Capital Realty. Have a great day. Bye-bye.